Now that the engine and transmission are in the car, we're just going to do a simple bump test to make sure that the engine turns over with the starter and everything is free and all that good stuff. I'm not going to try to start it yet because the transmission pan gasket is off and there's no fluid in there, and I'm not still 100% sure about the wiring. I did hook up the coil, hooked up the positive and the negative to the distributor. Other than that, the engine is literally just bolted in here. No hoses, no fuel lines, nothing's hooked up as far as that goes. One thing I did notice is I'm missing my wire that goes from the right here, the positive side of the battery, into the basically it's the wire that goes from here, into the wiring harness. When I was kind of messing around here, I noticed that there was a crimp right here. You can see the fresh electrical tape. Well, that was from me. I didn't know why it was an exposed crimp, and there was kind of one or two strands sticking out of it. Well, it didn't dawn on me until later that That's supposed to have probably this gauge cable wire coming out of it, probably a 6 or an 8 gauge cable going from here, or going to here, you know, into that splice that was there. So for the time being, what I'm going to do is just, I use this wire here, just borrowing it from the alternator. Taped up the alternator connections. If you can see it, there's another one here. Just taped them up. Or this one's insulated enough, I don't have to worry about it. But this one here I taped up for the voltage regulator and stuff. So what I'm going to do is, just so the rest of the car can get power, you know, when we're trying to start it, you know, I can make a better splice. I can resplice into here at a later time. But anyway, just to see if the engine turns over. I've already got it all wired up. This is my closest pigtail I had with a hook, with a ring on it. All I'm gonna do is just, it's not hooked up. Well, it is hooked up. Forgot I had that one on there already. So really, if I just take this, it's got power coming right here from the positive side of the battery. Basically, if I short out this terminal right here on the starter solenoid, it should turn the engine over. And we'll see if she turns over. Should be free, hopefully. I was told it ran 3 years ago. It sat outside all of those 3 years, but well, let's see. Oh. All right. So we know that it does turn over and it's free. I'll show you again. There you go. So when the time comes and I want to actually start the engine, shorting out this one here will provide power to the coil. So basically coil and starter is what these two on the top are for. So I know I have a good free engine here. Just kind of finish up some other things that need to be done. You know, this is going to have to get tightened. There's no bolts in there. It doesn't need to have coolant in it to run, you know, for a very short period of time. Probably hook it up to a jerry can, suck it out of the jerry can for fuel. Don't need the alternator for just a short period of time. Yeah, it really just got to get that transmission pan gasket back on. And from what I understand, these transmissions don't have a filter in them, these Borg Warners. This one being from a 69 American, does not have any filter. So, well, that's what I hear anyway. We're going to do some more research yet, but anyway, as soon as we get the pan gasket back in and sealed up and trans fluid in there, so we're not running anything dry, the transmission pump, the fluid pump dry, we'll actually see if this 232 can come to life and get this car at least mobile and moving for the time being. This isn't the engine that's going to stay in the car. Obviously, you want to put the original one back in. And also, not only that, this is the original 258 that was in the car with its Borg Warner transmission back there. Kind of an oddball because of it being the 71 model year again. And that 258, you know, first year for the 258, but the last year for the Borg Warner transmissions. So it's got that weird bell housing pattern. So I don't know how many countless 258s were made. That's the one year that it had significant differences. So I find that kind of a unique characteristic of the car, and I think it should belong in the car. And the car will get its proper restoration it deserves. This will all be cleaned up, painted, you know, the nice canary yellow that it is supposed to be. And I'll have that beautiful rebuilt 258 and Borg Warner transmission someday. For now, let's just get it moving, running around, so we can, well, hopefully plan for those in the future. But for now, we're going to leave it at that. We know the engine is free, got it in there, got it all bolted up. and we'll come back with the next video and we'll try to get this thing running. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.